New Beginning is the sophomore album from the Japanese band Band-maid, and it is also the band's longest gap between releases of albums, with a gap of 1 year and 10 months, which is actually pretty impressive because a lot of rock and metal bands still do a 3 album cycle where you won't get an album for about 3 years, sometimes even longer. Of course, there's a few exceptions to that. Now, the album does certainly fit this album slate itself does certainly fit the title of the record, as it does not feel at all like a sophomore release, but more of a debut album. This album is also completely different from Made in Japan. There are some things that carry over from that record, but this album is such a jarring shift that it does not even seem like it's the same band as that record, which is for the better given the Band-maid we all know and love now. Brand New Made was a trial and error, while this record very much is the blueprints, the foundation of Band-maid's sound. This is also a record that gained the Band-maid a bit of popularity, especially in the West, with songs like Thrill, Don't Let Me Down, and Real Existence, which was the song that introduced me to the band. Now, before I continue, I will briefly talk about the artwork, like all my reviews. It features the band with their maid costume sitting around a table while holding their instruments, except the drummer, who of course is holding drumsticks. As I feel like if you actually were to take the drum kit at the table, it'd probably not look as really pleasing, and everyone would probably be mad at you for taking up all that space. The maid costumes are a lot more distinctive here than they were in Brand New Made, where everyone was just wearing the same costume. Their album title, New Beginning, is in red above the band and curved slightly. The album cover is not anything amazing or brilliant, but it's not anything terrible. It's a decent album cover, and I will give it a 5 out of 10. And now, onto the album itself. The album does start off with a bang by opening up with Thrill. For context, Thrill was a song off the band's first single, which came out shortly after the first album, Brand New Made. Thrill, however, was not the single. Love, Passion, Mediator was, so it was a B-side. This is the case with a B-side receiving such attention and critical acclaim that not only does it lose its B-side status, but it goes on to be arguably the band's leading song in the album itself, leading single song, but it goes down as one of the band's best songs and one of their most iconic songs in general. It's also a staple in J-rock, which is pretty damn amazing. This is such a rare and amazing feat, and the song lives up to that. With the classic rock and glam metal fusion that is very much updated to be something new. This song was a great way to open up the record. The second track continues this strong start with a strong groove, very much in that classic metal style, but riffing by the guitars. The cymbals, hi-hats, and crashes are a standout to me in the song as well. Real Existence, which was the third song and another single, is just a simply, or arguably album single, is a simply fantastic song. Everything from the instrumentation from Misa, Akane, Konami, and the vocals from Saki and Miku, it's one of the band's best songs for a reason. It never overstays its welcome, and it has subtle things like backing vocals in the second verse to help add layer to the song and make a bigger immersion to the overall experience, and I'm glad that this was the song that introduced me to the band. The third track, Price of Pride, has some great opening filling, has a bit of the sound of Made in Japan, and at times it does actually feel like a ska song to me. There is some really odd auto-tune in the chorus, just like Cross, the only difference with Cross is that it was very much quieter, but here it's like a part of the main lead vocal, so it's like a lot louder than just being like a little effect. Also, it would have been better with just the compression and not the autotune. But that is not a bad song at all. The fourth track, Arcada Girl, has nice compressed, distorted intro, and it has a very good build-up. However, it's not satisfying once the build-up is complete. There is no payoff to it. The guitar work is very 70s psychedelic rock. The chorus is a little weak, though, but it does have a great guitar solo. The fifth track, Don't Apply the Brake, has a very good chorus. Interleading the verse does leave something to be desired, though. However, it is good when you consider the context of the outro of the song. The next track, Beauty and the Beast, has a nice fast tempo with instrumentation, and the vocal delivery of the chorus is not bad, though I did find it immediately bizarre with the slow vocals, with the vocals at a slower pace, but the fast instrumentation still going. However, that could be more of a representation of the song, with the instrumentation very much being the beauty and the chorus vocals very much being the beast during that part. There's an unexpected metal breakdown after the second chorus. It's also the only moment where a little bit of that metal flash that the band would go on to do later could be heard here. So this record is very much in that hard rock realm. The second to last track, Don't Let Me Down, is the third other famous song off this record. And yeah, the lyrics are, let's just say they're very not safe for work. And I'm pretty sure this if you were to like, this is one of those songs where it's like, you would definitely not play this, in a public area, just due to the context of the meaning. But that aside, the drums are the best part of the song. The entire song is in English, and the English is really good. The male shouting adds an interesting touch. The bass in place of the guitar for the lead before the chorus is another nice choice. The solo whispered vocals, both right before the final chorus and at the end of the song, feel very seductive, but at the same time it's like a threat, like, yeah, you get what I mean. Shake That is the album closer, and it has some nice riffs, a strong and catchy chorus. However, other than that, the song is, to be honest, kind of forgettable. The reason why this is actually a song I did listen to a few times, and every single time I just came to this conclusion. Actually, this whole album I've actually listened to a few times to sort of, let it soak in. But to me, Shake That is probably the weakest song on the record. Overall, everyone takes a major step here in the musicianship from the last record. And Misa with the bass having some presence after being pretty much absent on Made in Japan. Saki's vocal performance improved drastically from the first album. She no longer sounds like she's uncomfortable or she's straining. The lyrics here are well written, which can't compete compared to the lyrics of the debut album, as their songs on the album had no translation. The strongest song lyrically is Thrill, and its message: do not let new limits set you back, but to break open those gates. With Don't Let Me Down, I do feel slightly uncomfortable with the fact that a ghostwriter wrote an extremely sexual song for the band. I mean, did Band-maid consent to it? I'm kind of sure they did, but I'm hoping they did, because if they didn't, that would kind of make it weird for me. And overall, this album is a great improvement over the first record, and does not suffer the sophomore slump that a lot of groups tend to, regardless of genre. However, Due to its nature of being like a debut album, it does have some of the weaknesses of the debut record. There are some things that work and some that don't. The album is an improvement over Brand New Made in every single way, but there is still much more room to grow and develop from here. Even though the album gets off to a hard start with the first 3 tracks, the 3 tracks after that do odd choices that don't pay off the long run or build up to something only to have nothing there. The songs are not bad though. The next 2 bring the album back up to around the level it started with, and it ends with a very lackluster closer. Yeah. It's not a good idea to close the album with a filler track. So, this is an album that has some ups and downs, but there are challenges to a new beginning. I will give A New Beginning a light 7 out of 10. My favorite tracks were Thrill, Real Existence, Freezer, Beauty and the Beast, and Don't Let Me Down. What were your thoughts on this album? Let me know in the comments below. One thing I also forgot to mention that I thought was pretty humorous was, at least to me, is I feel like they came up with the title of Don't Apply the Brake after witnessing people driving in California. Because I'm pretty sure at the time they went to LA. Anyways, I thought that was a funny joke. But let me know what you guys think of this album. And again, I thank you for all the support that I've gotten for these reviews. And after this, we only have one more Band-maid album to go. Well, until they release the next one. And have an amazing day.